5 minutes with Phil number 2. I thought this was kind of cool. I was messing around on Instagram looking at some videos that people shared with me, laughing and having a good time and whatever. And then, as it commonly happens, the algorithms feed me some kind of awesome bunch of questions in succession. I think, who knows, maybe it was like a list of questions created by AI or something. It's got some pretty waterfall in the background or some pretty stuff, and it's throwing out questions, and it's probably built to make you watch it 10 times just so you can write all the questions down. But anyway, I took the time to do it, and it asked me some interesting questions, and I'm just going to throw out my answers here. If you were in a room of all the people that you ever met, who would you look for? And I was like, would I look for an individual person? The very first thing that comes to mind is I would just look for my friends. And that would include family members who are my friends, like the people that I love spending time with. I would be looking for multiple people, not just one, but all my people that I have adventured with through life and had fun experience with. I'd be trying to look through this crowd of people and here's my peeps. The second question was, if someone gave you a box of everything you ever lost, what would you look for? And it would be my Nintendo 64 and a game called 1080. It was the best snowboarding game that was ever created for video games. Question number 3 was, if you had a chance to relive a day, which one would you choose and why? And I had to do some research on this. The day came to mind pretty easy. I got to go to Lake Tahoe with a bunch of friends 10 years ago, maybe more. Y'all know who you are. And I think it was at Kirkwood. And I'm fairly confident it was a run called Perimeter, and it went down to this lift called the Galaxy Lift, and it was the conditions were just super good. There was no one on the backside of the mountain, and all my friends decided they were going to duck out and head for the bar or wherever, and I just had such a good run. I was like, you know what, you guys go that way, and I'm going to keep just burning and turning out here and just getting turns. And there was no one there, so I was able to just get turns all the way down this super long run. It wasn't super extreme. It was just a nice cruiser. It was either green or blue. But it was so much fun because as you were just the experience was awesome. But then as you were coming down the mountain, it was you could see in between this valley down into the farmland at the bottom of the mountain. And just some of the biggest, best turns I've ever had in my life. You could just completely hold an edge in it. And then at the very end of it, it was a big backside left-hand turn right into the lift line. And because there was no one back there, you could just ski right up to the red line, sit down, never have to unbuckle, ride up to the top, rinse and repeat. It was amazing. It was so awesome. Such a fucking awesome day. Number 4, let's see here. So that was, what advice, if your current self could get if your current self could get a letter from yourself in the future, what advice would I give myself? And it was, you can change your internal programming, so you can, when you start to recognize that the way you operate in the world, when external stimuli comes your way, most of us, we just react a certain way and go, well, that's the way I react to that external stimuli, and that's just the way I am. But if you realize that you have internal programming based on, all of the things that you've experienced through your life, you can start to change some of the ways that you operate in the world and the way that you react to external stimuli. And I think it's, I wish more people would realize that that was a thing. The other thing I would say in regards to that, like what advice would I give myself? Start playing with kettlebells, motherfucker. Play with kettlebells. Pick them up, start swinging them around. Realize how fun it is to move your body in space with weight attached to it. It's awesome. Number 5 was what favorite moment from the past. What would you do differently? I said C, number 3. Favorite moment, probably that ski run. And what would I do differently? I would just head straight to that ski run first thing in the morning and just turn and burn all day on that same run, just until my legs were smoked. Last one, life purpose in one sentence. And how does that affect your choices in your daily life? How does that affect the choices you make in your daily life? I can't remember what I said. What I wrote down here is smile and make eye contact with everyone. I'm going to have to edit this last little chunk, so I can't remember what I wrote. I wrote something awesomer on fucking Instagram. Anyway, I'll get that in a second here. Okay, so yeah, whatever I posted on Instagram was way better than just smile at people, although that is super awesome. Make special smiles for random people once in a while. It's amazing how awesome it is to see somebody smile back when they know that your smile was just for them, period. But here's what I wrote on Instagram in regards to that last one. So I don't know if this is in a sentence, but whatever. Focus on learning to love. Focus on learning to love and loving to learn. It's what your soul intended when it decided to take another ride on life's roller coaster. It affects my daily life by making every experience either more enjoyable or more loved, or it's an opportunity to learn, which is also enjoyable or loved. It's this thing of opportunity versus obligation. And like anything can fit into that, right? Like any shitty circumstance or anything you have to do or whatever. It's like just changing the wording in your own head of like, I have to do this versus I get to do this. So yeah, opportunity versus obligation, I think, is a really fun thing to tinker around with in your own brain. And then another thing that sort of fits in with this is there's no failure, only feedback. So just everything's a learning opportunity to make you better. And so even if it's a shitty circumstance that you're having to learn from, at least you're learning from it. And so it creates something awesome out of something potentially that feels crappy in the moment. But anyway, this is a little over 5 minutes, but yeah, just my 2 cents on a couple of things. Kind of a fun thing to poke through. I hope you have an awesome day. Shake you later.